Right, hot. Yeah. What's good, guys? Hope you're all well. Welcome to my channel. My name is Mikey. Now, this has been a weird week. A lot of weird stuff's gone down in football. Firstly, we're all still mourning from what happened last Sunday. I will never get over that. And the amount of Italians that are commenting on my video as well. Please, let it be, please. On a level, my life peaks at 8:02 last Sunday when Luke Shaw hit the only shot at the target England had in the final, right into the back of the net. And honestly, I don't know how much better life can get than that moment. Oh man, imagine if it had come home. Football so nearly came home, but it didn't. I hope you guys are all good and over it now, because it's going to take me a long time. A long time. But in the world of football, a lot of mental stuff has happened ever since that, and in particular, at Everton Football Club. If you're an Everton fan, then you have my sympathy, because it's been a mental month. Look at everything that's happened in the last month. Literally a month ago, you had Carlo Ancelotti as your manager. He's now gone back to Real Madrid. Don't blame him, because if that opportunity came knocking, then fair play. But who would you replace him with? That was the real question. Who could they get in to show real signs of intent to get into the top 4 in the next couple of seasons? A legendary Liverpool manager. On a level, we've always known Arsenal to be Banter FC, but I think it's slowly turning into Everton after the last month. It has been nuts. And as well as that, you've now got Andros Townsend joining on a free. There's no disrespect to Andros, because I think he's a great player. But a year ago, you were signing James Rodriguez on a free, and he ripped it up in the few months that he was actually fit at Everton. Andros Townsend and Asmir Begovic coming into the club is not a real sign of intent, but that's not even where the main trouble lies today. We all know what's going on, and I'm shocked. Now, this is a bit of a sensitive subject, and do bear in mind that this player in question does have a wife, and he does probably have a family of his own as well. So it's no laughing matter, but I cannot quite believe what has come out in the tabloids in the past couple of days regarding Gylfi Sigurdsson. We've all seen it. If you're watching this video, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Gylfi Sigurdsson has had some quite strong allegations made against him. Now, if the allegations turn out to be true, then I have absolutely zero sympathy for Gylfi Sigurdsson as an individual. But for his wife and for his family, you cannot imagine the emotional toll that that's had on them. But they seem very strong and very serious, to the point where Everton have even suspended the player. Now, Everton haven't actually specified which player they've suspended, but all fingers are pointing to Gylfi at the minute. Now, initially it was between Fabian Delph and Gylfi Sigurdsson. Fabian Delph is not a seasoned international anymore. He obviously played for England like 20 times. But Gylfi Sigurdsson is an everstay in that Iceland team, and I'm absolutely shocked if this turns out to be true. Now, looking at this, in the last hour, the Ghanaian news, which I'm actually surprised by. I don't know why it'd be breaking in Ghana, but the Ghanaian news have confirmed that it is Gylfi Sigurdsson that has been arrested on these charges. He's currently out on bail. What does this mean for Everton's season going forward? They've already had a turbulent last month or so. Now, Rafa Benitez has not been welcomed by the Everton fans in the way that he probably should. I mean, if I was in that position, I mean, what can you do? He is appointed. You've got to get behind the team. You've got to get behind the manager, regardless of their ties with your rivals. What, 15 years ago? When did he leave? 2010? Get over it, all right? If you're an Everton fan, get over it. You've got to get behind the team now. I just don't know how Everton are going to recover from this. They've only just played their first pre-season game. Played one pre-season game. We got between now and, what, May, in order to get the season finished. How are Everton actually going to come back from this? I don't know. It's going to be a big ask for them. Not only the troubles within the club with with this potential player, or Gylfi Sigurdsson, as the Ghanaian news have now reported. But in terms of morale, that's going to have a big impact on the players, as well as all the things that are going down on Twitter and Instagram from these Everton fans. You are not a happy bunch. I don't know how Everton are going to be able to maintain a genuine push for the top 4, which I don't really think was that realistic anyway. But I mean, they had as good a chance as, I don't know, Arsenal to push for the top 4 this season. How are they going to turn this around? How are they going to get rid of these massively contrasting emotions from a month ago, where you had Carlo Ancelotti and you look like you could have potentially an amazing transfer window, to now, I mean, you're not. Asmir Begovic, very solid goalkeeper, but he's about 84 years old. Andros Townsend, he's been all over the block and back. Honestly, it's a village bicycle at this point. I don't know, as an Everton fan, what you expect for the season going forward, but I would not have your hopes up high. But in terms of Gylfi Sigurdsson, I don't know what they're going to be doing now. I mean, I don't know how he's going to even step foot on a football pitch again this season, and everything turns out to be false allegations. I genuinely don't know how Gylfi Sigurdsson is going to step back on a pitch and be able to play football in the way that he has in the past few years. And that's a big, big blow for Everton. But away from Everton and back to the Euros, and England fans have absolutely disgraced themselves in the last week or so. I'm not going to lie about it. I'm an England fan. I was at the game, I was at Wembley, and I witnessed it firsthand. Like, I know there's going to be a lot of people on here saying, what do you expect? It's England, they're arrogant. We know that we have an air of arrogance. We know that, all right? With the Man United, we're not even the Man United. Who are we? We're the Arsenal. Oh man, England are the Arsenal of international football, aren't they? Oh man, that is painful. When you think about it, we actually are. But the fans well and truly let themselves down last week, being at Wembley Stadium and witnessing bottles being thrown, muggings happen, racial abuse, which I actually heard myself, by the way. I actually heard racist abuse happen in the crowd outside. I mean, how do you come back from that? England and Ireland are obviously coming together with a bid to host the 2030 World Cup across, obviously, Ireland and England. But you have to say that that is in major doubt now, which is a shame because the Irish fans are quality, right? If this had happened in Dublin, none of this would have happened, and none of these fan mental behaviours would have happened. It was crazy. England fans acted like animals, and not only did they act like animals before and after the game, and even during the game, after the game was disgusting. Straight to the point, there is no room for racism in life anymore. Now I want to make a separate video on the fact that Bukayo Saka, Marcus Rashford and Jadon Sancho all received disgusting racist abuse after missing penalties in a penalty shootout, which, by the way, those of you who did send abuse, I hope you're not watching this video. If you're watching this video, like, literally, I want you to know I dislike you as a human. You need help. But those people that were racially abusing them are cowards. They would not have stepped up to the plate, especially at 19 years old. I'm 25 years old, and if someone gave me a penalty, it could be in Sunday League, I'd be bricking it. Bukayo Saka, a 19-year-old lad, stood up in front of the whole world to take a penalty to keep England in the Euros, and he got saved. It wasn't off target, it wasn't a stupid run-up or anything like that, he just saved it. Bukayo Saka is 19 years old, he's a boy, right? He's not a grown-up yet, he's a boy. He's coming through as an individual, not as a footballer. You take the football part away from it. He's coming through as a young lad. He had a lot of responsibility on his shoulder, and did he let the nation down? Absolutely not. People who claim to be football fans turn on him. There is no room for racism. I'm going to make a whole new video on this. Anyone that sent any abuse to him, I would have missed that penalty. Do you think that I would have had the balls to stand up after 120 minutes of football to take a penalty in front of the whole world? No, and neither would you. And I don't understand why people are giving this guy abuse of any kind, let alone racial. The same goes for Jadon Sancho and Marcus Rashford. They stood up to the plate, and the fact that they took penalties and they didn't score, it doesn't matter. Football's a game. England got to the final of Euro 2020, and I'm not about celebrating second. I don't believe in celebrating mediocrity. It's not what I'm about, but it's a huge improvement. I mean, 10 years ago, we lost in the round of 16 4-1 to Germany. That was our heaviest defeat in knockout football. And look where we are now. We got to a penalty shootout in Euro 2020 final. Although we didn't play great throughout the 120 minutes, we got there. But football did come home in a lot of ways because it brought the nation back together. And Italy were the better team. You can blame whoever you want. You can say whatever you want. But Italy were the better team. Realistically, you have to hold up your hands and say they deserved it. So again, congratulations to the Azzurri, because a lot of Italians are not hearing that in my other video. But I'm going to make a whole new video on Bukayo Saka, Jadon Sancho and Marcus Rashford receiving the racial abuse that they did, because that is not acceptable. 3 brave lions, 1 foolish nation. But I'm going to sign out. Thank you so much for watching the video. Big, big love to you all. Again, if you're an Everton fan, I'm sorry. Let me know in the comments, alright? Let me know in the comments how you think you're going to get on this season. But all the best to every single one of you. Genuinely from the bottom of my heart, I mean it. And on a side note, please don't send any abuse to anyone associated with Gylfi Sigurdsson, because if this does turn out to be false, then A, you're going to look like a massive idiot, and B, they don't deserve it. Then they're just innocent people that have done nothing wrong. But I'm sending you guys all my love. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you drop a subscribe, because I want to hit 50,000 soon. I said I'm going to stop pushing for that, but I do want to hit 50k, so if you can help me get to 50k, then you're an absolute legend. But all my love, guys, stay safe, and I'll see you tomorrow for a brand new video. Bye.